Do your kids go to college? How are your kids doing in college right now? I'm curious what your kids' college experience is at the moment. 866-95-PATRIOT. Just in general, this can be related to the pro-Hamas rallies that are taking place on your kids' college campus, or just general insanity. My oldest is 7, so I got 11 years before hopefully the entire system collapses and he doesn't have to go to, or there are already other options, and I hope he takes one of them. I was talking to someone who's she runs a school in town, and I said, "Oh, how many kids do your school go to Ivy League schools?" And she said, "Who cares?" I can't even see it. She's like, I don't know, I think they've had a few, but they're like, that's not even, that is not a goal, which is crazy because that used to be the pinnacle of going. Of course you would. And it's like, no, we would advise against it, actually. My alma mater had a celebration just this last week, and it was 150 years of the swim team. Swim team celebrated their 150th anniversary, so there's a big reunion. I didn't go, but I saw a lot of pictures. It looked like some fun. I only have good memories of college. I liked it a lot. College is totally wasted on the youth. College, and this is impossible, but college should be a thing that you go to when you're 30. You should graduate high school, live for a while, and then go to college, because you would actually appreciate it and you would enjoy it in real ways, and you would actually read the books. It doesn't make any sense. You can't do that way, but right now it's just 13th grade. It's a total joke. College is a total joke. I always have to put an asterisk on that, because whenever I say that, I always get some angry email from some mom saying, "Oh, my daughter's pre-med and she worked very hard at organic chemistry." Great, your daughter's a hard worker. For the most part, college is a total joke. Absolute joke. Now, before I prove my point with numbers on how college is a joke, I saw a picture of the sit-ins at Yale. They took over one of the main intersections on campus, and it's hilarious. It's because you got your hippie bongo drummers in the middle of the intersection, banging on the drums all day, with one guy who's high on something, dancing or whatever this is, convulsing around in the middle of the street, and everyone's just sitting on the curb. It's like they got drum circles going on. It's so piteous. Is that the word? It's just it's like disheartening. Like, oh, this is Yale. This is that's. So you have that. You have the foolishness of it, right? A lot of student performances taking place in these Gaza encampments. I saw a video of a musicless dance routine. Oh, it was all very moving. And then it gets violent. This is one of the chants at Columbia. We played it yesterday. Al-Qassam, you make us proud. A terrorist group. Take another soldier out. We say justice, you say how. Burn Tel Aviv to the ground. Hamas, we love you. So listen, we don't need to have any what are their real thoughts about the plight? Or this is really about the poor Palestinian people. Hamas, we love you. We support your rockets too. Red, black, green, and white, we support Hamas's fight. It's pretty clear. It's the right to rebel, Al-Qassam, give them hell. It's the right to rebel. Hamas, give them hell. Free, free, free Palestine. Okay. So you got that going on. Columbia canceling classes in person. It's all online now. This is great. The president wrote to the students. Students, this is to to everyone, the campus, right? The Columbia University president. Students across an array of communities have expressed fear for their safety. That's so good. An array of communities. It's the Jews. For good reason, too, by the way. We'll go back to Exhibit 3. Hamas, we love you. We support your rockets, too. Al-Qassam, give them hell. That would be my example of how a Jew on campus would be fearful for their safety. But I love the array. Oh, it's an array of communities. So of Columbia, 23% of students are Jewish and 16% of the grad students. That's a lot of Jews on campus at Columbia. That's a lot. It's not like 5 Jewish kids on campus. 23% of the student body. That's a lot of people. Right? That's a big group. And there's also a lot of people who hate that big group on campus. Yet the president said students across an array of communities have expressed fear for their safety. No. Just the Jews. Because only the Jews have an understandable fear for their safety. I would have no fear walking through campus. They're not threatening me directly. You with me? I'm not in that 25% of the student body. But the fact that the president can't say Jewish, can't say Jews, can't dare to be truthful about where exactly the hate is being spewed, the violence is being spewed, and instead takes this pathetic, it's an array of communities. The array. What other group feels threatened by from the river to the sea? Where in the array? Like it's a charcuterie of students that are offended. Oh, where in the charcuterie board? Where in this array of students, Columbia? What other group? This is anti-arrayism. The pro-Hamas people are anti-array. Stop it. Anti-arrayism. And now the faculty's in on it too. This is the faculty at Barnard marching into the president's office.
No suspensions! Now! What do we want? No suspensions!
That's the faculty. That's great. Someone wrote, they want it to be 1968 so bad they can taste it. Unfortunately, their time machine landed in 1939 in Germany. It's pretty good. All right, I got a lot more to say, but I'd rather take your phone calls here. I want to go to Jane and Mark, if you guys can hang on. Let's go to Jerry first. Jerry, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing this morning?
Good, brother. I asked the question, your kids on college campuses, how they doing, what are they seeing, et cetera. What about you?
Well, my daughter just graduated, so she's not currently enrolled, but we have very recent experience. And she went to North Carolina State and went in very conservative and came back progressively liberal each time she came back home. And now she's quite liberal. Her boyfriend is quite liberal. She came home with the coexist bumper sticker over a rainbow flag on her car. Although I did combat that. I got a coexist sticker for my car, but all the letters are made out of guns and hand grenades. So she was not fond of that.
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
So you're being for real with this story? This is a real thing. This actually happened.
Younger daughter decided she was done with school, just wanted to go into the workforce. My younger daughter's coming around and is starting to realize what's going on in her world. And her boyfriend are getting quite conservative, and she won't talk to her sister about it. When she hired together, that went directly into the workforce is conservative. The one that went to college has been indoctrinated.
Wow. So you have a case study. You have an actual control group case study on what happened with your two girls. That's amazing. Why were you concerned about this when you sent your daughter off to NC State?
Well, I wasn't concerned when she went because I figured, even though North Carolina has been kind of purple in elections, I figured, that NC State, is not really that liberal of a school. Now, University of North Carolina, very liberal, but I guess the people that she surrounded herself with, and she was around a lot of the marching band. She was in marching band for a while, and I guess when you get into music and things like that, you run into a different crowd. And it was kind of odd that she got indoctrinated the way she did because she went into a very analytical field. She went into engineering. And so I was quite surprised as she would come home and now they're totally conservative. They're pro $20 an hour minimum wage. Her boyfriend even talks about how great things are in Cuba, and I keep telling him, hey, look, I grew up in Miami. You know what? Why don't you go move to Cuba and see how it is down there?
Wow, that's amazing. Jerry, thanks for the call, man. I'm sorry about that. Sorry that happened to your daughter. But everyone knows you got to watch out for the marching band Marxist. Everyone knows the marching band is the most Marxist group. That's bizarre. I wouldn't have thought the marching band is watch out for them. Yeah, that's... Man, you're sending them off. You're sending them off into the lion's den. There's no question about it. the snake pit maybe is a better analogy.